What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? I'm back, Mr. Tasty. I'm doing my thing. I'm feeling pretty happy. But admittedly, I am also feeling a bit nostalgic making this video. Why? Because here are my top 5 famous drink brands of the 90s that have been either hard to find, have changed for the worse, or have completely discontinued forever. So the entire purpose of the video was to focus clearly on drink brand trends of the 90s that were baller back in their day to find out if they still are, if you can find them. What the 90s, you dropped the ball, you done dropped it. So first up on our list is a drink that had the distinct ability to mesh whimsical kaleidoscopic images of hippie fantasies and blast them with earth-conscious slogans that were, at the time, poetic, even at their very worst. Okay, so first up on our list is Fruitopia. If you went to any social event during the mid-90s, early 2000s, movie theaters, sporting competitions, music venues, or if you were lucky enough to have a vending machine in your middle school or high school, then you consumed Fruitopia by accident. So Fruitopia was actually created by the Coca-Cola Company in 1994 to offset market share domination by other popular drinks at the time, such as Snapple. A lot of critics even back then claimed that Fruitopia was a knockoff of Snapple, but in Fruitopia's defense, I can clearly say that it's not. They had a lot of unique flavor combinations. They weren't a tea-based drink, and they obviously had a certain demographic that Fruitopia was going for, which Snapple did not. So over the years, they even changed their bottle type from this to that to this to basically offset any copycat critique people might have had at the time. So having tried Fruitopia dozens of times as a little teeny bopper, I can clearly say that it was awesome, especially if you had those hypnotic commercials gleaming at you to buy each flavor. So I guess I'm a pagan shaman now. I need my Fruitopia to go practice my voodoo curse on Snapple. Or maybe that's just the sugar. So Fruitopia first came to the market with their flagship flavor, Strawberry Passion Awareness, which is what this bad boy is. But they did have other flavors like the Great Beyond, Tangerine Wavelength, Citrus Consciousness, and other flavors. So it is pretty much well known by now that Coca-Cola or Fruitopia was going for a certain demographic based upon the names of the drinks. Unfortunately, it proved only to be successful for about 7 years, coming to a complete halt in the early 2000s. So despite the demand over the years, Fruitopia was hit with stagnant growth in the late 90s. So Coca-Cola decided to transfer the brand under the more popular and more successful Minute Maid brand. That's why you can find Fruitopia still in certain grocery stores that look like this, kind of look like the orange juice container. So although amassing only a small cult following, Fruitopia hasn't completely vanished out of the consumer spotlight. A quick search reveals Fruitopia coming back to the grave in weird places like a soda fountain option at McDonald's, or a bottle on a desk somewhere, or even a vending machine loitering outside of a abandoned gas station somewhere. That last picture was fake, by the way. But seriously though, I can totally envision Fruitopia being a part of some small tech company's break room somewhere. I can totally envision that. I don't blame them. I totally don't. I mean, I would rock one of those Fruitopia vending machines in my man cave garage if I totally had one. Okay, so let's see if it's still a baller. See if it's still awesome. Let's give it up for Fruitopia. Ugh. So Fruitopia, like I said earlier, came in first glass bottles that looked just like the Snapple bottles. That's why I think a lot of people think it was a copycat. And then they switched over to plastic bottles that are taller, and then over to the Minute Maid kind of containers, and then back to cans. Or not back to cans, but cans. So let's give it a whirl here. Okay, so if I had to pick 2 flavors right away, it would be strawberry and apple. If you look on the cover here, there's clearly like pears, apples, passion fruit, and strawberries. So you can smell the passion fruit, you can smell the strawberry, it's there. It tastes really good. It's like a light, if I had to compare it to anything, it's like a fruit juice. Like very sweet fruit juice. There's that passion fruit, there's that strawberry flavor. It's really good. Go out and try it. It's delicious. So that is it for Fruitopia. If you wish to buy it, you still can, but you have to do some digging. I tried eBay and Amazon, I couldn't find it there. So I think I bought it from a Walmart website up in Canada. If you buy them in bulk, obviously you're gonna pay some money for them. If you get lucky, you can actually buy them by the can, but I do recommend you trying this one especially, and that is it for Fruitopia. So the number 2 spotlight of What the Hell Happened drinks belongs to a special juice that has helped shaped my sugar-filled childhood to the max, and that distinction belongs to Squeeze-Its. You can't find Squeeze-Its anywhere. I mean anywhere. eBay, Amazon's warehouse, the black market in Calcutta, my granddad's wine cellar. So the reason why? They stopped making them like 18 years ago. I know, huh? Wah wah. I personally think the reason why people are shocked to find that Squeeze-Its are gone is because they've been replaced by other Squeeze-It type juice drinks. I guess out of sight, out of mind, so to speak. So Squeeze-Its actually first appeared during the mid-1980s as a General Mills product. And it was especially marketed to just pumped up kids itching for a juice fix.
Squeezing the fun out of Squeeze-It fruit drinks. But you sure will.
So basically one of their many commercials pretty much says it all. So I'm pretty sure you've pretty much guessed it by now. The term Squeeze-It actually makes reference to how you drink the actual product. The Squeeze-Its were shaped like a bowling pin, much taller than this knockoff variety from Kool-Aid. The reason they call it Squeeze-Its because you open the top like this, and there's a little hole at the top, and to drink it, you would literally put it in your mouth and squeeze it. Although looking back, I don't think you needed to squeeze it in order to drink it. It would just come out freely, but people would just like to just shoot this in their mouth. Little kitties, pumped up for juice. So in my personal opinion, the reason why I think Squeeze-Its were so popular back in the day is because they were such a far cry from the normal basic juice box drinks available at the time. I mean, seriously though, imagine some kid pulling this out at lunch at school somewhere, and other kids would be like, "Oh my God, you're so amazing! Look at this thing!" So the commercials are pretty interesting. A bottle of juice coming alive in some kid's hand is a lot for a kid to vision and go through, which is I think why people wanted it so badly and why it was so successful. So the marketing department over at General Mills certainly did have their hands full, developing characteristics for each one of their flavors. And there's like Chucklin' Cherry, Berry Be Wild, Grumpy Grape, Silly Billy Strawberry, Rockin' Red Puncher, Mean Green Puncher, Smarty Arty Orange, and Tropical Punch. That's a lot to remember. So basically each character had their own unique flavor, and that's kind of how they marketed it, and it was delicious. It sold. I think also at one point in time they had like a mystery bottle that was like all black that you had to guess the flavor. I never saw that as a kid. I don't know what happened to it, and I can't find it on eBay or Amazon, so I guess it just disappeared. So what else can I say about Squeeze-Its other than they were a revolutionary drink at the time, especially the bottle shape and the whole characters behind it. What can I say? They had a good run. They had a good run. Maybe the next life, Squeeze-Its. Maybe the next life. It's kind of sad if you think about it, because it's a lost beverage. You know, kids nowadays won't know the effect of Squeeze-Its. The only thing they're gonna have is Kool-Aid knockoff. Tastes like high fructose corn syrup, and shame. Nice try, Kool-Aid. Nice try. So coming in at the number 3 spotlight is another Coca-Cola powerhouse. In the year 1997, we have Surge. Surge was awesome. If you know little kiddies out there don't know what Surge was, it was basically a sugary lemon lime type carbonated soda that first began fueling the extreme sport type crazy people. Exactly. So to be quite honest, Surge was actually a copycat of a European drink called Urge. I mean, it looks exactly the same. They didn't even try to like replicate something different. It's like Surge and Urge. You have the urge to surge, I guess. So yeah. So the whole purpose of Coca-Cola coming out with Surge is to basically take the place of the struggling sales of the 1979 introduction of Mellow Yellow. And basically to just take market share away from Pepsi's popularity, at the time the biggest competitor of which was Mountain Dew. No, Mountain Dew and Surge did not taste the same, they're completely different. Some fanatics of the soda world will actually say that these two taste the same. They don't taste the same. Stop saying that. So the whole marketing strategy behind Surge was very interesting to say the least. I mean, the entire can looks like it was some power upgrade for some first-person shooter in the 90s.
Much better.
So a lot of people say that Surge was to just take market share away from Pepsi's popularity at the time. But that's interesting because if you do a little research, Mountain Dew started back in the late 1940s and Surge the late 1990s. So I don't think Surge was the answer to any drink, but more or less a gap in Coca-Cola's inventory. So the entire marketing strategy behind Surge was basically just over-exuberance, fanaticism, hyper-endurance athletes, and stuff like that. So that was actually a thing. So this is way before energy drink dynasties took over the market. You had Surge. So Surge was actually that one drink you had to have before you do that one thing, which is comical to say the least because it spawned off a lot of parody commercials of people doing extreme stuff like gearing up to sofa jump in the middle of the street. So despite being officially discontinued in 2003, social media movements led to the Surge movement, or the popularity of having Surge coming back, and in 2014 led to the launch and release on Amazon to Surge limited edition 24 can packs. And it was so popular, in fact, that in 2015 led to the attempted relaunch of Surge, which basically gained so much attention that Coca-Cola decided to exclusively make Surge available at Burger King. I don't know if it's a fountain drink variety or a slushy variety. I think I've seen a few YouTube videos of where they drink Surge slushies. First and foremost, it was a soda, not a slushie. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to have a Burger King, let me know if there's Surge available, because I haven't been to Burger King in like 10 years. So although Surge is not available in stores, you can still acquire this neon green super soda on Amazon or eBay. I got this on eBay for super cheap. You buy it in 3 cans, single cans, 24 packs, 12 packs. So it is still readily available, but its popularity has increased over the years, so it might be scarce and the price might be a little bit high, but you can still get Surge. And I also do recommend you trying it, but if you start jumping over furniture, that's on you. Okay, so Surge going in, test run. Ugh. So it's pretty much exactly how I remembered it. If you think of like Mellow Yellow, Mountain Dew, Sprite, 7-Up, you're in the ballpark. But it is neon green. I don't have a glass container to pour it into, but it's not yellow. It's like a neon green. You see other YouTube videos of the Surge, and it is carbonated, citrusy, very sweet. There's not a whole lot of caffeine to this. I don't know why it was considered an energy drink. I think back in the day, only like 70 milligrams of caffeine was considered a lot. It's not a lot by today's standards of energy drink consumption. So Surge is awesome. So go out and try some if you can find it. So coming in at the number 4 spotlight for us today is a famous 90s beverage that is still available to the public market even today, but has changed so drastically over the years. It is but husk of its former self, of the glass bottle juice we had all once loved. I'm talking about Sobe. Why Sobe? Why'd you do it? Why?
Disclaimer!
So yes, Sobe is still readily available on the market, but it's changed so drastically over the years. It's not what it used to be, especially the flavors and the drink varieties and the brand. It's just not there, which is enough to put them on this list and for me to talk about it and critique it. So if you don't remember Sobe back in its original glory, essentially it was a glass bottle juice with baller-ass flavors that Sobe had the nerve to discontinue. So what happened? Well, if you're a critic like myself, I would say that if you're a company or a business and you want to expand, don't forget your core. I'm clapping again. Don't stop selling the product that made you famous. It's just like, it doesn't really work that way. Especially the products that people get attached to. You know, it's a bit like, if you're a business and you want to expand, you want to get into other markets, you want to try new things, I totally get that. But that's like McDonald's stopped selling a Big Macs. Can you imagine that? You're like, hey, can I get a Big Mac? Oh no, we stopped selling Big Macs. Out of here. So that's essentially what Sobe did in essence. When Sobe came to the market in 1996 as South Beach Beverage Company, which is what Sobe stands for, by the way. If you didn't know that, you know that now. I didn't know that until making this video. And you come up with baller flavors. It had this aura of like summertime, fun things happening, kind of a vibe. Well, so what's the big deal? Well, up until 2000, Pepsi decided to take over. The drink brand started to change. The product line started disappearing, and it just wasn't the same. They also came out with a new product called Sobe Life Water that is part of the product line. I just don't agree with it. Go back to the way it was. It was really, really good. They keep on changing things up since Pepsi took over. Their drink varieties have changed quite a bit to include, I think, energy drinks and a few other things. But they're trying to expand, but they just got rid of so many favorite drinks that's just made people come mad, and it's not what it used to be. There's not a whole lot of space for Sobe products in stores as there was when it first came out. It's not as popular, and Sobe kind of declined. So that's my take on Sobe. So if you want to have an example of what Sobe did, they have so many popular flavors that are not around anymore. Sobe No Fear, Sobe Ice, Wisdom, Dragon was a good one, Good, Lizard Lava was a good one, Synergy, Adrenaline Rush. I think this was part of the original too, but it's in plastic bottles now. Drive, Essentials, Edge, Strawberry Carrot is not around anymore. Lean Orange Carrot, and several other flavors that are unavailable and are unlikely to see a comeback. But for Sobe, I do like to end on a good note. A lot of their product lines are still available, a lot of them. However, they are in plastic bottles like these. If you do a little bit of research, they got rid of certain products to make way for other products. So they are changing, it's just not what it once was. You can get Sobe anywhere products like these are sold. So coming in at number 5, I saved this 5th drink for very last, and for good reason. It is the shortest lived beverage on the lineup, debuting in 1997 and discontinuing in 1997. We have Orbitz. So quick disclaimer, I saved Orbitz for last because it is the beverage that I don't have a lot of experience with. I drank Orbitz 2 or 3 times 20 years ago, so I don't really have a whole lot to say about it other than the research that I've done on this individual product. Now, Orbitz is kind of a hot commodity now because you can't find this anywhere. I mean, I paid undisclosed sum of money that I'm not going to tell you, $15, on eBay for this one little bottle. What can I say about Orbitz. So Orbitz was extremely revolutionary for the time period, and sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing. It was so interesting, in fact, that people have actually labeled this the lava lamp drink. As I'm sure you can imagine, people would hold this up and shine a flashlight through this, and it looks just like a lava lamp. You have little beads of I don't know what they are exactly, but they're like some sort of like gelatin or pectin that kind of mesh well with the drink. It looks like a lava lamp, and it kind of just stays. They just stay in the middle and float around. It's kind of like a lava lamp. If you were one of the lucky ones that actually tried Orbitz back when it came out and actually liked it, then you were among the very few. The whole reception around Orbitz, it is that its appearance freaked people out. They didn't really know what to make of it, and the taste was okay. It's just that it was seen as kind of weird, and it just wasn't appetizing according to large amounts of public opinion during the time period. And now it just wasn't appealing in terms of a drink. So the creators of Orbitz actually marketed this as a texturally enhanced alternative beverage that they thought was going to make it big, but they thought wrong. Orbitz creator, Clearly Food and Beverage Company in Canada, actually had a remarkable success with their earlier invention, Clearly Canadian Club Soda Water that was flavored. It was really, really good, and that was pretty successful. So I guess you win some, you lose some. So even though Orbitz was a monumental failure in the beverage world, it doesn't stop critics and reviewers like me from wanting it, making this drink pretty much hard to find in the retail galaxy. I got mine through eBay, and I think that's all you can get it, is try to search on eBay or Amazon and try to find this somewhere. So it is good to note that certain drink varieties of the early years are quickly becoming nostalgic pieces of art, and it's interesting to see how that works, because people are willing to pay a premium to try something that they had earlier on in their life. They was maybe like $1.50. So it's interesting to see how supply and demand works with certain retail goods like Orbitz. So I did watch, admittedly, a few other YouTube videos of people drinking Orbitz and reviewing Orbitz. They actually opened it and drank it. I'm debating on whether or not to do that. Since I've come this far and to review all the other products, and I drank all the other products, I feel kind of compelled to at least try it. I'm kind of nervous because this is an old ass drink. It's way beyond the expiration. So do a little research and people reviewing the product, and I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm gonna open it up. If I can get it open. It's hard to get open. Okay, first the smell test. Okay, so it smells like lemon scented dishwashing soap. That's the nose. The nose is, well, what's the flavor? Okay, so the flavor, there's different flavors. The flavor here is raspberry citrus, so it's gonna be citrusy. I don't want to try it. Okay. It tastes like Lemon Pledge. That's exactly what it tastes like. It tastes just like Lemon Pledge. It tastes like Lemon Pledge's smells. Does that make sense? And that I drank some of the balls. The balls are kind of like mushy. And it's not. If you need to try Orbitz, go out and get it just to try it. But I'm telling you, it's just not. It's not what it used to be, and clearly, I understand now why it discontinued in 1 year. It's just not. Just don't even try. Don't. So that is basically it for today. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I did making it. These blast from the past videos are so much fun to make. I love making these videos. That is it. I am currently working on getting out more content. as quickly as possible. I am currently working on a script for my next video as we speak. And hopefully you'll be able to see that. It might be a challenge. It might not be. I don't know at this point in time. But yeah, so that's it. I'm out. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go drink some Surge and jump over some sofas.